Let's get going. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Toastmasters. There's one or two people that I do know that are here today. I am not a member of Toastmasters myself, so please don't count my ums. I know that's what they did last time I did a chat, but I really enjoy being with you guys and try and get my speaking to even better levels when I'm doing. At least I know what I'm talking about when it comes to branding your business. And today I really want to take you through a lot of different things around your business. We have 40 minutes, so there's plenty time for questions and answers. I will stop during the time, and if you have questions, you're more than happy to put them into the chat or open your cameras. It's all a safe space. There's only a few of us in here today. So let me tell you why it's important to brand your business. First of all, the most difficult thing for people to do nowadays is distinguish your business from your competitors, especially if you're in a space where there is a lot of competition. But it's not all that difficult if you know how. The important thing is to become more recognizable, to build your customer loyalty, and at the end of the day, if you want to scale up your business and build it, is to gain and retain your employees. People want to be associated with good, strong brands that actually align with their values, and they'll be very proud to work for you and become ambassadors for your business and grow your business without you even having to do anything more. This is the difficult thing I think people find, is how to differentiate your brand. So the critical thing is go and make a list of every possible thing about yourself. And you need to be a little less humble when you're putting this kind of stuff together. You've got to go make a list of all your naughty badges, your qualifications, projects you've been involved in, recommendations you've got, reviews you've been given, letters of reference that you've collected along the way, projects, specifically successful projects that you've worked on, or if there were difficulty or high profile things, you can always see what you've learned from those things. You need to make a complete list about what is amazing about you. And then you've got to go and look at all those things that are really amazing and pull out what is truly, truly unique about you. And out of all those things that's truly unique about you, what of those adds the most value? And this is what people say, well, how do we know what adds the most value? This is where you need to focus on understanding who's that ideal customer? Who do you actually want to work with when you go forward in your business? And there's nothing more stressful than having difficult clients. And you can have clients that are perhaps a challenge, but you still enjoy working with them. But truly difficult clients where you have a meeting and it's like, I really don't want to do this. You're attracting the wrong kind of people, and you're bringing unnecessary stress into your life and unnecessary stress into your business. And you really don't want to work with people like that. So if you understand what your values are and what's truly unique about you, then you can go and look at all your products and services and how you uniquely do them. Remember, people can do what you do, but they can't necessarily do it the way you do it. Every single one of you is incredibly unique in the way that you will deal with different problems and solving those problems for clients. Now, when it comes to what's adding the most value, what you need to do is get inside the heads of the people that you're trying to get hold of. And I suggest that you only go after 3 types of ideal customers at a time. And you need to go into a lot of detail with those customers and understand and really, really get into their heads and understand what makes them tick, what drives their decisions, what makes them choose someone to work with over the other competition. You need to understand how old are they married? Are they divorced? Are they single? Where do they live? What is their disposable income? What's their job description? What title do they have at work? What kind of career have they done? What qualifications do they have? Then you need to understand where do they get their information. And this also helps you with understanding where you can add the most value. Is if you love creating videos, but your customers don't enjoy consuming that kind of content, you're not going to match them. So either it's not your kind of customer and you have to find customers who enjoy watching videos, or you need to adapt your branding and marketing to go that way. So when it comes to what's adding the most value, it's almost always all about you and how awesome you are and how amazing you can be. There's a couple of things that I would like to touch on, which is probably the most obvious things that people think of when they come to branding, is the logo, the tagline, and at the same time, the name of your business. When you go and look at logos, taglines, and the names of your business, it is important to be unique, but it still needs to appeal to your audience. So for those of you who thought branding is all about what your pretty logo looks like and those kind of things, and people will recognize you by your logo and your branding. But for now, when you're building your business, your brand is you and what you bring to the table. With LinkedIn, it is the most amazing way to brand your business because it is a brilliant networking way of building your business. You can put on a professional thing. You can have a company page with your logo and absolutely everything on and share content from there. But at the end of the day, people do business with people. And once they get to know you, what you stand for, the value that you add, the problems you can solve for them, that's when you'll actually add the most value. I'm just going to have a look at everybody who's here, and I see everybody's quite quiet except for Louise. Welcome, Jayapriya. Nice to see you as well. And Jaria, if anybody would like to just tell me, what do you believe is truly unique about the way you do business? And have you actually ever given this any thought? Louise, can I pick on you because your camera is on?
Michelle, I know that it's something that you have pointedly, I mean, we've worked together and you often say that. And, you know, I guess at the end of the day, you look at yourself and you say to yourself, who am I and how do I portray what I do that best reflects me? And my business is self-catering, short-term rental accommodation. And for me, it's my whole heart and soul that I put into my business that I think is what people resonate with. I'm a very personable person. I love people. So as long as I make them feel comfortable, that they've got a good place to stay, they tend to keep coming back. And it becomes a home from home where they're staying. So they are always comfortable in my accommodation. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, that's absolutely amazing, Louise. And I know you've done this exercise many times before to focus your business. Who else would like to give us an idea of what they believe is truly unique? Tell us what you do and what is truly unique about the way that you do things. Anybody brave enough to turn on your camera or just pop it into the chat? Okay, I think everybody's going to be quiet today. Thanks, Louise. Okay, so now what I would like to do is go through all the steps to branding your business. And it might look complicated and there might be some terminology on the screen that you haven't heard. And this is one of my things with teaching marketing, is that marketing doesn't have to be complicated. If you get to know someone and you get to know your customers, it's just like having a conversation with an old friend that you know well, understanding the problems and challenges they have in their life and helping them actually attract the right kind of customers and solve those problems. So first of all, identifying your audience. What you need to do as a small business owner is go after the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit are those customers that are going to be easy to convert, easy to not necessarily convince, but people who will understand the value in what you're doing and want to do business and buy from you. And once you understand those, there's the reason I'll tell you to do that. Not only is it easier and it helps your cash flow, but at the end of the day, it actually builds your confidence as a small business owner. And you'll be less likely to get into those little, I don't want to say pity parties, but maybe get a little bit distressed about the fact that, are you in the right business and is things going? With marketing and branding, there's no such thing as short-term results. Nothing happens. The important thing is to be consistent. You can't jump in, jump out, change your mind, in, out, in, out. Remember, how you present yourself is how people will perceive you. With identifying your audience, apart from the low-hanging fruit, you need to understand what are their issues and what is the difficult part in their lives, What are those things that are their challenges and pain points that they're telling you about? And what is the stuff that they're not telling you about? And there's a lot of people who might be too ashamed, shy, concerned with sharing. And if you can actually get to the bottom of really getting to know your customers and what makes them tick, you can connect with them at that level, which will make them trust you even more. And Zig Ziglar is a big one who always says in his quote that if people know you, they will engage with you, but if they trust you, they'll do business with you. And that's what you want to do, is build trust. Creating your value proposition is, again, what is truly unique. And each different type of customer is going to use different items of the service that you offer. So what I suggest you guys do is go make a list of everything that you believe is truly unique about you. Put it all down the sides, all the ways that you add value on a strip of paper down one side, and then on the other side, take one specific ideal customer and go and write down the challenges, which are the things that are difficult in their lives, but stuff they can possibly deal with, and their pain points, which is the stuff that keeps them up at night. And say, okay, this particular thing that we do solves this particular problem. And keep on doing that until you've gone through all of their challenges and pain points, and you will eventually come to one thing of value that you do that actually solves the majority of their issues and challenges on the other side. And then you know that it needs to be your focus. That is going to add the most value to the people that you're going to be talking to. Once you understand that, then you can go and put all of your products and services together and focus them into baskets relating to your different ideal customers. And you really need to understand who you're talking to put your marketing strategy together. With creating all of that, your personal brand and what you stand for and what you're trying to achieve in your life and in the greater scheme of things will go through and help you document your mission and your core values. And your mission is not something that you stick together, whole lots of fancy words. And I know that sometimes mission statements seem like total pie in the sky stuff that corporates just thumbsuck and stick up on the wall. They need to be something specific. For example, in our business, our real mission in life is to start and affect the unemployment that issues in South Africa. I'm based in the Eastern Cape in South Africa. It has the second highest poverty rate and unemployment in the country. And it's really a focus for us. And how do we do that? We create accessible training and marketing for customers to build their small businesses and actually start getting going on their businesses so that they end up hiring people and also in our little way contributing to the reduction of unemployment in the country. So yes, if you think a small business can't make a difference, you can make a difference to one person, and that one person gets on their feet and then makes a difference to all the others. So whenever you're looking at what your mission is in life and what your goal is for your business, it can't be money. Money is always a byproduct of what you do. And if money is what everybody goes after, and that's what the message is all the time, it will be very difficult to build a sustainable business. You will eventually get exhausted. You will eventually hit your money goals. And what keeps you going beyond just money? If you make all your personal goals and you build your business to where you want to be, you're creating a life and you're not actually just making a living. Your core values, you need to express them to attract those right kind of people, as I've been telling you at the end of the day. With the core values, you need to go and make a thing of what's really important to you. Is it integrity? Is it honesty? Is it giving back to the community, a giver's gain mentality? What are those real things that are important? Is it a sense of teamwork? Do you like being part of your clients' businesses, or do you just want to be a consultant on the periphery and don't get too involved in the day-to-day kind of things? All those things are values at the end of the day, and you want to get the right people on your bus and attract the right people so that while you're making money, you're enjoying the journey. Okay, so let me stop for 2 seconds and see if there's any questions about where we've gone so far. Leah?
Yes, I actually have a question. I was about to raise my hand. Yes, you talked about that money shouldn't be the thing or the driving or the core that is But I'm thinking when you're starting a business, you're doing it because you want to make money. So, because I'm like, okay, I'm here. I want to learn about how to brand my business because I want to make money.
So, Leah, let me put it this way for you. Okay. When I start business with a client and we're putting together a brand strategy and a marketing strategy and then a plan, the key questions that I ask is, where do you want to be in 5 years? Not your business. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Is that I want to own my own home? I want to have a car. I want to have enough money saved for my children to go. Where do you want to be? And then when we've done that, we go, okay, where does your business need to be to give you that life that you are looking for? And if you are constantly doing things for a business, it's not going to keep you going. It's not going to be enough to sustain that, get you over the difficult parts and keep the excitement going. We've done a huge drive in our business over the last 2 years to get my husband out of his corporate job so he could join us in the business. We've grown our team, and it was all with a view to going completely nomadic and moving to the Eastern Cape, leaving Johannesburg and the crazy life because our kids are all out of the house. And to do, if we hadn't actually decided we want to live at the beach, okay, we wouldn't have tolerated the 18, 20 hours days and pushing and building the team and all the difficulties that we went through to actually make our dream come true. And yes, we made money along the way, which paid for our move, but it wasn't the focal. So if you're doing what you love, your passion comes across, you attract positivity, you find the people that really, really want to work with you, and money is a byproduct of what you do. But if you always you need to be mindful. I'm not saying it isn't an issue. So you need to have your pricing and your costings correct, and you need to find people who can afford what you do, and you need to make sure that everything is valued correctly, and with your marketing that you're communicating that value. Because even with, and clinically discussing money, with clients, not being able to afford it is very seldom the objection to the sale. If something is important to people, they will find the money. It's like taking your 5-year-old out and about and they want a toy. And you will consider and probably maybe not spend money on that toy. But if your child is sick, you'll find the money. It's all what is important, and that's what you'll do. So if you can show the value to people, it doesn't matter what it costs, they will definitely come. And if they genuinely cannot afford it, your marketing messaging is wrong and you're attracting the wrong kind of people. So you really need to understand your audience. Does that explain it a little bit without me going away from marketing and too much into the life coaching side of stuff?
Yes, yeah, thank you very much. Very insightful.
Good, thank you. So the important part of branding your business is actually you, because you are the brand, you are the business. And even if we started with just me, now there's 11 of us in the business. Everybody shares our values, everybody is driving towards their own goals, but we've all decided on what the business goals need to be to get everybody to where they want to be. And it brings a much more cohesive thing. And you have a lot more fun doing it, because work is hard. You might as well do something you enjoy and do it in a way that you enjoy doing. Any other questions? Yeah, looks all quiet, nothing in the chat. Okay, so questions around determining your core mission and values. If there are any, please pop them into the chat and I'll come back to that in a little bit. Now I'm going into the part of determining your brand personality, which is probably why you guys are here. So you do need all the other stuff. It's very important. And now let's get onto the serious part of branding. Defining your brand personality will also be mission and core values. But if you want to know what a brand personality is, there's one question you need to ask. How do you want people to feel after they've interacted with your brand? And that can be you, your staff, your team, your product, your service, your store, your online store. How do you want people to feel? And that's the personality that you need to put forward. If it is a law firm and you need to make sure people understand your difficulties, can take the emotion out of a decision and focus on what you really need to achieve and that can keep calm, professional, and get you to where you want to be. That is the kind of thing that you would want to put across, say, for example, if you were a lawyer in your own firm. If you want to create a fun environment and a kids' play area, what's that brand personality? You still want the safety aspect to be there, but at the same time, at least be fun, exciting, challenging, different, things that really drive energy. And with that comes your color. And color is really, really important. So first of all, how do you want people to make you feel? Now, you can have people judging your brand just by looking at your logo, your uniform, how you present yourself, all those kind of things. And I'll give you an example. We've moved, went into go and have, and I still think the most challenging thing about moving, maybe it's just the girl thing, is finding a new hairdresser. It's got nothing really to do with anything else. But you walk in, say you walk into a hairdresser, and the person who comes and greets you at the counter is scruffy. So I know there are stories of the cobbler's children have no shoes, but still at the end of the day, you walk in there, their hair isn't the latest, their hair isn't all washed, it isn't a cut, it hasn't been, it just looks like there's no effort and it's not important. How does that make you feel when you walk into that business? Do you look at this person and go, do they actually know how to do hair? Or maybe they really do know how to do hair, but they just don't care. Or maybe everything is rushed and they're going to rush you and you're not going to get the results that you want. So until you actually get to know and trust that person, she may be an absolutely awesome hairdresser, but her first impressions, as much as people say, don't judge a book by a cover, people do. So if you want to define your brand personality, first go and look at how do you want people to feel when they've interacted with your brand? And then go and look at your logos and things like that. So it's important and it needs to put that forward. If you have a look at our logo, it's black, it's red, and it's orange. People who know me better know it's energetic, it's serious, and the black side of it, hopefully a little bit classy, looking good. Dragons, if you have a look at it in the international side of things, if you look in the Northern Hemisphere, it's normally people slaying the dragon and the dragons are the bad things. But if you move across to Eastern philosophy, it's very much an entrepreneurial space, rising above adversity, overcoming difficulties, and really just growing and having a position of strength. Now, for me, it's perhaps you'll say, Michelle, dragons have absolutely no place in an African environment, but most of our clients are international. We do work locally with a huge amount of people. I'm totally passionate about working in Africa, but for Africa, it is an awesome conversation starter. People go, yes, Michelle, they understand the yin and the yang because they've probably seen that around. But what's with the dragons? My husband will tell you it's because I'm a dragon, but that's not really the case at all. It's more just the focus of driving a conversation. So you can have something that's a conversation starter. But on the other hand, when you're looking at your brand personality, it's very important to understand what message or what vibes are you giving off when you start. So have any of you actually done a logo for your business already? Louise?
Yes, Michelle, but it really does need a revamp. So that is on my cards with you.
Okay, that's awesome. So when you were first looking at doing all of that, what was the deciding factor when it came to picking, let's say, a color, for example?
I don't know, because I wasn't in marketing or had no knowledge at all. So it was a thumbsuck. And I think that's where a lot of businesses are. They really have no idea. They just know they need a picture to represent them.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm focusing so much on the fact that people buy from people. And you might love butterflies and pink's your favorite color, but if you have a pink butterfly, is it going to appeal to your audience if you're a lawyer? Or they're going to think you're a little bit flimsy and flaky and all over the place? Yeah. Those are the kind of things to think of. So absolutely. So remember, not just about logos, not just about branding, but be mindful of your personality and how you want people to feel once they've interacted with your brand. I see Madi put your camera on. Madi, did you have a question? think she was popping in to visit.
Michelle, there is somebody who's put a comment in the chat.
Okay, let's have a quick look. Okay, Lisa. When I designed my logo, I designed it to resonate with the business, even though I didn't go in depth with the creation. That's perfect, Lisa. So at least you have given it some sort of thought. Do you, now that you've done it and you've been in business for a little while, do you believe that it does attract the right kind of clients and the right kind of audience? Is it giving off the right kind of vibes?
Unfortunately, I let it go because it was just a hobby. But I do believe that when people saw it, they were able to understand what exactly it is I was trying to communicate, because it was a wine review blog. So you'd find that people would understand, okay, she's talking about wine, she's reviewing a certain type of wine. So the logo does portray what she's trying to put out. But I don't think I went as in depth where I understood what the colors meant and all that. I just put a bottle and it opening, and it was, yeah, but I didn't really go that deeper into understanding how my clients interacted with it.
Okay, thanks for the feedback, Lisa. So just one quickie while I've got you. When you started out the business, how did you want people to feel after they interacted with you and your brand?
I don't think I think all I really wanted to achieve was to educate more than anything else, because I think wine on its own is a misunderstood brand. So I don't think I went in depth enough to that point where I thought more about how I want the client to be feeling after, we've interacted.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for that feedback. Okay, so the next thing, once you've defined your brand personality, is going ahead and creating your brand assets. Now, your brand assets are important. Remember, visually, you want people to be able to identify you and see you in different spaces, and want to make sure that it is consistent. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you keep your branding together. And I don't know whether anybody has actually noticed with my slides, for example, the colors that I've pulled out relate back to my logo. I don't have my entire Dragon Consulting logo on my slides, but I do have my little dragon icon down in the corner. And you're constantly reinforcing that branding and your brand assets. So when you're creating things, make sure, especially today in a digital space, that you are creating brand assets that define your personality. They give off the right kind of vibes, for want of another words, that they make sure that every time you use them consistently. So even though you think a corporate identity manual is something a big business needs, take away the jargon. All it is a little book that guides, or a couple of pages that guides how you're going to use your logo. The good thing about that is it makes sure you stay applying it correctly and all of the time doing it cohesively and consistently, but it also allows everybody else that joins your team, if it's promoters, printers, graphic designers, even your own staff, they know this is how we use the logo, this is how we don't. So I will never have my dragons crooked and all skiff on the side of the page. I won't ever use my logo on top of stuff where you can't see behind it. Go and create a monochromatic version of your logo that is all white and all black, and make sure when you do design a logo nowadays that you have one icon logo or one piece of your logo that can be used in its entirety for a social media profile picture. What you don't want to have is people scrolling through and they can't see your whole logo. It's cut off by the little circle, and things might change. Social media changes all the time, but make sure that you've got one little icon that you can use to stick in the corner of a picture on a post, that you can brand your YouTube videos, just something that keeps you top of mind and keeps that golden thread through everything while you're working. When you go and do your brand assets, make sure that you have cover images on all your social media. They need to be cohesive. They need to appeal to your audience. If you're a speaker or you do something personal, get photos of you doing what you do and put it in there so that people stop scrolling. What you don't want on your LinkedIn, your Facebook and things like that, is the standard blue wavy banner on LinkedIn. You want something exciting so people go in and go, oh, hang on, she knows what she's talking about. Let's see what it is. Make sure once you've made those brand assets that you use them all the way through your business, down to something. And I know sometimes my clients giggle at me. I even use my brand font in my emails. I never send out an email that isn't in my brand font with my email signature that is branded with a click through to my other presences and online presences. Do it consistently. You think people don't notice it? They absolutely do. So are there anybody who's actually done that level of things on branding their business? Muddy, you're unmuted, please. Give us your feedback. What do you think?
Thank you very much, Michelle. This session is exactly what I needed. I'm still stuck on the powerful thing that you mentioned, the question that you asked one of the people in the room to say, what is it that you wanted your people to feel after they've interacted with you and your business? So I'm still stuck on that one. Yes, someone unmute because I just need to be ready for anything that happens next.
No, absolutely.
But definitely the feeling part, because you took me back to being a customer and which brands do I actually look at and follow through with their business. It's those that have made an impact on me and how they made me feel in my first approach with them. So that is very powerful. And usually when we talk about branding, we don't look at it within, you know, what you've just mentioned now is, yeah, mind-boggling for me. So I need to just go and revisit that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madi. Jarius, I see, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, I see you have a question.
Yes, good morning, Michelle. Thanks for the opportunity. Firstly, I just wanted you to explain, sorry, I'm listening to this very, very important class and I'm all over the place this side, but I'm also in the process of branding. But I just want Michelle to explain to me, why is it that when you are asked things about what you want to do, where you want to be in 5 years, my mind always go blank. I'm like, what is the problem? And then the other question that I have, I was also reminded by the lady that is helping me with the branding. She's like, you need to choose your business color. I heard you speaking about the colors. I'm like, where do I even start? Because I know in psychology, different colors means different things. Personally, I am, my favorite colors are black and white. I cannot say those will be my business colors. How does one choose colors? What should I look at when I'm coming up with these colors? Otherwise, thanks for this. This is just like Modi. This is just what I needed. When I was listening to masterclass, when I had branding, I didn't even have to think twice. But I think I will even repeat this in the next session again. Let me stop there.
That's absolutely perfect. I tell you what, Jerry, if I can ask you, reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty easy to find. Pop me a message and I'll give you a video by one of my favorite graphic designers. He's based in Scotland. His accent is not too heavy, so you can understand him. And he goes into every single color and the positives and negatives of each color. So guys, reach out and I can share some extra information with you. Let's focus on the time. So what I was thinking now is you've created your brand assets. So you've gone and done your logo, you've done your tagline. Remember, your tagline is 3 to 5 words that explains to people what you're offering and why they do business with you. So people go, oh, okay. Remember, simple things, Nike is just do it. But if you look at all of the other side of stuff, it's athletic performance. You need to understand what are those kind of things behind it. It's a whole course in itself just to focus on building your own tagline. I know Louise has done many training courses with me in the past, so she knows all about this. What you've got to do once you've created those brand assets is then go and put them out across all of your channels. And I mean all of your channels. You want people to notice you wherever you go. There's a reason street pole ads are 3 to 5 in a row. They reinforce the messaging as you go. When they come and look at you, you don't want to go, oh, she only pays attention to LinkedIn and it's all beautiful on LinkedIn, but her Facebook looks slapdash and isn't completed correctly. Because if they love using Facebook, you're going to lose them. So rather, whatever you're going to do it properly and make sure you've put it out across all of your channels. The last thing that I would like to do with you guys is tell you that marketing is not difficult. All you've got to do is be consistent. My karate instructor always says it's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. So make sure that you've given some thought and everything that you actually need to do, and put thought and planning into what you're doing before you go and put it across your channels. Give it a chance to get a reaction. Before you go and measure and go, oh no, that's not working, let me change it. Kind of put a peg in the ground and say, okay, in 6 weeks' time, I'm going to change up my cover photos. Or in 6 weeks' time, I'm going to put a new profile picture up. In winter, make sure people look like you're up to date. Don't have a profile picture that's from when you graduated at university. If you're like me, that was a very long 30 odd years ago. So make sure it's up to date, that when people meet you in person, they can recognize you. So don't use too many filters, just be real. People enjoy that at the end of the day. So let me quickly go back and just focus on telling you all those steps. Go and identify your audience, create your value proposition, make sure it's what you're adding the most value, what's truly unique about you. Go and understand what's driving you in life, your big, hairy, audacious goal. What is that? What are those values that are important to you? And those are the kind of people that you want to work with and keep in your brand. Define that brand personality. How do you want people to feel when they react with your brand? That's you, your logo, your brand assets, your staff, your team, your suppliers, all of those things. How do you want people to feel? Create those brand assets, integrate them across all your channels, and be consistent. Make sure that you don't talk to one client one day, one client another day, then pick 3 types of clients, and 1 week just speak to that person. Being a sniper is a way better way of going hunting than it is going out there with a shotgun. I can promise you it's not effective. Be brave. Even if you can sell everything to everybody, well, you think you can sell everything to everybody, go after one thing at a time. Build a strong connection, strong relationship, and make sure it's fun. So guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much. Everybody was relatively quiet today. Thank you for those who did participate and give us your feedback. Please reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. I can take you from there and give you some different ideas. We do put out a lot of other content. Thanks for your time, guys. It was really awesome to be with you.
So on LinkedIn, we just follow you?
Yes, you can come and send me an absolute direct message on LinkedIn. I love to chat to you guys. You can absolutely do that.
Okay, because I've already started following you.
Perfect. So send me a message. Actually, direct message me. I'm absolutely happy for you guys to DM me.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I think it's showing that the room will close in 60 seconds.
Yes, so that's yeah. No, I think that's all the questions for now, and I will see you guys on LinkedIn or back later for those of you who said you would be back.